Hey guys, welcome back to this week's price action trading video for the 8th to the 12th of September. Starting off with USDJPY, need to zoom out on this one. You can see here it's broken these highs here at 104.54. So I'm just going to drop over to the weekly chart and just see where we are. You can see pretty much at a high point on the weekly chart. So what we can do, just move that level up here just to there. This is the weekly high. Now the last time it was up here was back December 2013. We're back up here now, but whether or not we'll break it, that's another thing. So if you look at the candlestick price action just here, it got to this level just here, and it's dilly-dallying around, it's thinking about it. Had the NFP on Friday, which probably caused some of this spikiness on the candle here, but at the moment it's still sat here not doing a lot. If we see a bearish candle under here, then this is probably going to be ripe to trade this down, back down as far as you can, probably in the first instance to 104.26 and then to 103.24. But you need to be watching this level here to see what happens in the next couple of days with the candlesticks, as we're at a weekly high. At EURUSD, you can see what happened here. This was last week when the ECB did a rate cut, an unpredicted rate cut, and that caused this massive candle to drop down through here, down through the 131.23 level. Let's just move out on this. Now we were watching this particular level here, and you can see it's just blasted straight down through that. So we need to find the next level below, which is going to be, we've got a level there at 127.551, but that's way off yet. You're probably looking around this level here, the 128.50, sorry, the 128.25 level. Just in there, so I'll mark that level in there. Let's change the lines to the right color, sorry about this. There we go. So we got this level here to look for long positions out of, down here at 128.35. Need to mark that on there with an up arrow so we know what we're looking at. So a little way to go. If we get a pullback up to here, then obviously look for bearish candlesticks down from 131.23. So at the moment it's stuck in the middle of these two zones, so these are the two spots to be looking for. I'm just going to put on a down arrow there for those to get the templates in their email. And so the level for EURUSD, two levels, 128.35 and 131.23. That's the ones to be watching this week. On GBPUSD, you can see the market's just opened up and it's just gapped down quite a few pips actually. Where did this close? Closed at 163.20 and the market's opened at 161.78. That's a massive gap on GBPUSD. Let me just take a look at that on a lower time frame. Look at that gap. Massive old gap. Now, let's just zoom out on the GBPUSD daily chart here and see where we are. That gap has taken it down through this level here. There's a level in there. Look, you see the previous resistance just here, which turned into support just here, and that gap's taken it down through there. So if we zoom back in, you can see that this level here, 162.42, is now pretty much a key level, because we need to know what it's going to do at this level. Is it going to retrace back up and carry on back down? If so, we look for a bearish candle from here, or is it going to break back over to close the gap and then form some bullish candlesticks to aim back up at 165.67. If it does go back to 165.67, then look for bearish candlesticks down from there, because this was previous support here, We expect that to turn into resistance to trade this back down. So you've got to pay attention to what's going on this pair. The price may retrace back just up into this level and then carry on back down. So as I said, keep an eye on the 162.42 level where we just gapped down through when the market just opened. On AUDJPY, this is really bullish at the moment. You can see it's broken this level here, this previous resistance level at 96.093, and is now at 98.4. On its way, I would imagine, up to 101.30, which when it gets there, we're looking at the weekly chart here, when it gets this level here, 101.30, I would expect some bearish price action to kick in there. But right now, it's kind of stuck in the middle of nowhere. There isn't really anything here in terms of resistance or levels to get this stopping on its way up to this 101.30 level. So keep an eye on this. Let me just check the Fibonacci level just here, and it's the wrong color. Let me just change the colors quick. Well, we're at the 61.8 retracement level of this previous move down here, so possibly just here. If you get a bearish candlestick in here, then that may be a sell position down from this this level that we're at now. But you've got to be watching the price action quite carefully here. It's got to be a nice candlestick to go against this bullish trend here. So for AUDJPY, watch these two levels, 98.391 and 101.30. AUDUSD, strangely enough, still stuck in a range, no real trends or anything going on here. If we get up to this level here, 94.9431, then that's the spot we should look for bearish candlesticks. It seems to have broken this level here, coming back up at 93.30, but we haven't seen any, some decent bullish candlesticks here to take this back up. So it may just sort of sit around here for a while. There is a kind of a level in here. It's quite tricky to see these levels because of the way this this chart is, but there could be a level here which we could get a sell down from. However, my favoured level will be 0.9431, or if we get a pullback down to here, then look for a fresh candlestick, a bullish hammer or something, to trade back up out of here. On EURJPY, you can see this candlestick here, similar to the one on the EURUSD, where it took a pounding last week with the ECB cutting rates, and that blasted it down through this level here. So there was nothing here bullish to trade this back up. You can see here where it's broken the level here, and then it came back up and retested the 136.59 level, and it failed here. So for trading this week on the EURJPY, take a look at that level there, 136.59. We've already got a start of a bit of a bullish candlestick just here. So if we trade back up to here and fails to break above here, and we see a bearish candlestick, then look to trade that down short from 136.59. If we break back over this level, then obviously the 137.81 level is your next stop for that to go short there. Just looking underneath here to see if there's anything underneath here that could offer support. There isn't anything supporting under this level right now, so it's going to go where the market wants to take it. But to trade this, you've got to look for a nice a nice bearish candlestick here to get short from the 136.59 level. Here's GBPJPY, similar to GBPUSD, another stonking great gap on this. Let me just measure this gap for you. 180 pip gap down between Friday close and where we just opened up. We can see on Friday close we were sitting on this trend line and this level here at 171.31, where had this gap not occurred, I would have been talking about looking for a bullish candlestick here to trade this back up to, you know, around the 172.71 level. However, this gap has occurred. So what you're going to be looking at here, you've got a couple of spots to watch. In here, you've got the level we're at now, which is obviously a supporting level. It's gap right down to this support here. It is now trading at 169.98, so just under the 170 level. So you're looking for bullish candlesticks here to trade back up to this trend line. Now you can see this trend line's been broken. I would expect that there's a possibility for this to turn into resistance just here. You can see here previous support all the way through here, and then it's broken it. So I would expect this area here to be a resistance zone. So if you don't get in long from here, look to go short here at 171.31. So let me just mark that. Let me just put an arrow on there. So those are your two spots, 169.80 where we are now. Wait for a bullish candlestick, and up here 171.31 is where you want to trade that to, where you could also look for a bearish candlestick. On NZDUSD, it's found some support here at 0.8270, just in around here. You've also got this trend line here. You've got touches on this trend line of 3 touches, so it is a trend line. So I would look for, as we're sat in the middle here between these two levels, I would look for 3 things. 1, a pull back down to here, and then a bullish candlestick to come back up. Resistance shown at this trend line again, and looking for a decent bearish candlestick to trade this down, but obviously a smallish bearish candlestick. If you get too big a candlestick, then your risk reward is going to be all out. And also, if we break this level, then look to sell down from 0.8419 from this level here. So you've got these 3 spots to look for. Just here on this trend line, and here if we trade back down here. No gap on this one like on the GBP pairs, and I'm beginning to think that gap on the GBP pairs has something to do with the Scottish independence vote, which is coming up in a couple of weeks. That's just my sort of gut feeling on that, so we just have to wait and see what happens when that comes along in a couple of weeks time. But anyway, this is Kiwi. So as I said, we're looking for these 3 spots here for price action around these levels to trade from. Last one here on the price action before we move on to the news, USDCAD. You can see here, last week it just sat around, not really going anywhere, with some doji candles, news driven candles here and here, but didn't really, this is a bullish candle here, it didn't really propel itself up out of there. It might still do, it might react still out of this candlestick and might well trade up to this level here, which is at 1.0964. If it does, then look for a bearish candlestick to trade down from here back down to 1.0830. If we get a pullback down to here, 1.0830, then obviously look for a bearish candlestick coming back out of here. So again, as in other pairs, we're sat in the middle of the range here. This range of so many pips we got here, 131 pips. So you need to be watching, you need to be getting in at either of these levels. Getting in halfway here is not the place to get in because it increases your risk too much in either direction. So you need to be looking, either going long from here or going short from here. Of course, unless the price breaks these levels, either upwards or downwards, in which case you look for the price level to be retested before, going in either direction. So that's it for the price action levels, and now we're moving on to the news. So here's the news list for next week. It's pretty quiet compared to last week's craziness with all the ADP and NFP and the Eurozone dropping rates and all that sort of thing. So it's pretty quiet. So I'm expecting Monday to be quite quiet, as there isn't a lot of red news floating around. But it seems to be that on Tuesday you've got Governor Carney speaking, so that could move things around. But on the whole, it looks like it's going to be a Kiwi and Aussie week. If you look here, we've got the rate decision for NZD, and also the unemployment change and unemployment rate for AUD. That's on Thursday. So Wednesday for the NZD, and Thursday for the AUD. But other than that, there isn't a vast amount going on. We have got the normal USD unemployment claims on Thursday, which we're used to now. It's every week. And on Wednesday we've also got the inflation report hearings, but there's no sort of big events like Mario Draghi speaking or anything coming out of the Fed that's important. No FOMC, so it's going to be quiet on Monday, but next week we should see some normal, less news driven charts, so it could be quite a good week next week for trading. So that's it for this week's price action trading levels and our quick look at the news. If you like what we do here, then subscribe, click the like button or send us a comment, and we'll see you next week.